Another of our portfolio companies is Inoxico, which is a specialized credit bureau. It basically develops software solutions for business intelligence. Rather than focusing on the data side of things, what we're looking to do is, on top of the data level that we have access to as a bureau, we overlay it with a very powerful layer of architecture. That's what I refer to, which is the analysis, the correlations, the trend spotting that we identify or that we generate by applying ourselves to the data and applying statistical ideas into the data. And finally, and also we think critically, on top of that, we put a layer of interface design, if you want. So what we do is we understand from our clients what do they actually do with the data that they used to buy from us or that they still buy from us. But rather than providing them with the data, we're providing them with process data in a way which interfaces into their environment that they can make decisions out of. What we very often found is what our peers do or competitors do, they provide the data and leave it up to the client now to be smart around finding correlations within the data and presenting that back to their management for decision-making purposes in a clever way. And that's what Inoxico does, and we've done it very successfully, especially with one tool which has been launched recently called Association Matrix, which has a component attached to it called the Director Singularity Index that talks around activities of your board, your directors and officers, but also managers across the board and their activities and their relationships to some of their suppliers or their customer vendors, so their resellers. And we have been able to identify conflicts of interest which previously companies were not aware of. And it just allows them, so we're not the whistleblower, we're not the guys who are pointing out to fraud, but we are the guys who are bringing that transparency and the ability to instill a very deep sense of governance into that information and allowing companies to then take take decisions and manage the conflict of interest that will inevitably exist. So, the association matrix is quite a powerful tool to bring those relationships to light. It doesn't mean you need to get rid of those relationships. What it means is you need to manage them to make sure that fraudulent activity or corruption is not something that takes place due to those relationships.